He got the first feet in and he dragged that one. That's 2 feet in.
I can start bringing the microphone in here, at least for you guys. Got like about a minute left until we start the show. We're almost there. Let's make sure the mic is good. Oh, that's way too high. God damn, I was trying to blow your eardrums out. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Okay, let's go ahead and bring Podbean in here. Normally Podbean gets the behind the scenes things, but you know what? I'm feeling generous today. I'm feeling big generous yachty today. I don't know how. I don't know how we're gonna work you today, TikTok. It's gonna be a mission. It's gonna be a mission for everybody. All right, let's get Instagram in here. We got the behind the scenes cam with Instagram. All right. It's gonna be weird because we got the game right there, and I'm trying not to get any of it. I knew I should have. I guess it would have happened either way.
MyT.
Levels is not good. Levels is not good. Listen, I had a lot of technical difficulties. What's going on, legend? Okay, we're gonna end up trying this all over again. Nah, fuck that. Get me off screen. It's not that time yet. It's not that time at all. Hold up, wait. There we go. Let's put that up there. You guys can dwell on that shit for a minute. I feel like my voice is hoarse, or I'm stuffy. I feel like my voice sounds a little muffled today. You guys gotta let me know. But we're gonna have to redo this whole entire intro all over again. That is not the way it's supposed to come through. Right? The levels was not good. The levels was not good. So let's go ahead. You know what? Let's go ahead and how we do this Jamaican style.
Good means rewind, the concept means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
MyT.
Everywhere we go, we wanna know who we are. So the MyT Sports Pod. Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are. So we tell them this is the MyT Sports Podcast. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Talon, the 17th wonder of the world, Taylor. It is another En Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live and direct from your local bar at Sharky's, which tells you it is another Monday night. We got another night of Monday Night Football. We got another night of sports. We got another night of the MyT Sports Podcast, which means we got a big show for you guys today. When I say big show, we're talking about really big show. It is officially November 13th. We had highs today of 85. Current temperature right now is highs of 86 actually. Current temperature right now is a lovely 75 degrees. I hate to say it to you guys. I hate to do it to you guys, but it is what it is when we live down here in South Florida. It always feels nice. Like the weather is always sweet. It always makes you want to move your dancing feet to the rescue. Here we all. Like I said, this is November 13th. This is Volume 9, Episode 17th, track 563 of the MyT Sports Podcast. Listen, regardless of how you guys are listening, hope you guys tune in. Whether that's on Facebook, that's on YouTube, that's on Twitch, that's on Podbean, that's on Spotify, it's on Pandora, or you're listening. Oh, what's going on, pimping? You know we are Shorkies now on Mondays, right? Like I don't know if we had told you that I got my boy listening. Yo, I appreciate my peoples. I appreciate my family. I appreciate my brother. My brothers. You guys have no clue. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later in the podcast, right? But we got a big show for you guys. Like I said, we gonna talk about it all. We got some bar talk for you guys today. I mean, we had Shorkies today. We got some bar talk for you guys. We gonna talk about, will LeBron James still be great if it wasn't for the Heat? We're going to talk about that. Of course, we got the birthday shout outs coming up at the top of the podcast. So, what that means for you guys, right? Start getting them in here now. If you knew anybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. Now, I didn't have a podcast on Friday. So we weren't on. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Right? We got people coming through. Right? I didn't have a podcast on Friday. I had some personal things that we had to take care of, right? So the last time that we had a podcast was actually last Wednesday. So we got a birthday shout outs for the 9th on Thursday. We got birthday shout outs for the 10th on Friday. We got birthday shout outs for the 11th, the 12th, and today the 13th. So we're covering everything. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today on Monday night. We got 5 days of birthday shout outs to give up. Listen, it is going to be one big celebration today at the top of the hour. So you guys know what happens here. If you know anybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air, what you do, you start tagging them, you start adding them, you start letting them know that, yo, come check out the MyT Sports Podcast. So that way they can get their birthday, they can hear their birthday shout outs for themselves. Like, you don't just gotta tell them, yo, the birthday shout out is happening. They can actually hear, yo, I see my boy Eric Efron out there in full effect. Yo, you guys need listen. I'm gonna do him like I do everybody else, but that's one of my boys for real, for real. Like, you understand, promoters. I got a gem for you. Promoters. If you guys is looking for, I got a gem for you, but we not there yet. But if you know anybody that got a birthday that's popping up, right today, over the last couple of days, you add them, you tag them, so they can get their birthday shout out. We want to make sure that they get celebrated, and that happens at the beginning of the podcast. As soon as we give you this quick little rundown over here, right, that starts at the beginning of the show. We're gonna talk about Harden being dissed. I don't know if you guys heard about that yet, but we have that coming up in store. Kelly Oubre is apparently hospitalized. We got the Blue Chew promo code coming up for you guys. We got the VetTix promo code for you guys. I apologize. I should have had the upside one ready, but that's coming up in the works. You guys just wait for that. I know that's a giant disappointment, so unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about the giant blowout that we witnessed over this weekend as well. We got the Jets with their late game crash, right? We may even go back into our 2K tiers and break down tiers 4 and 5 now, as we start to open this thing up and see who does not belong. If you was here for the last show, then you already know we had a problem with John Stockton's low ranking. We thought him and his partner should have been switched. If you remember listening to last podcast, we definitely thought he should have been ahead of Chris Paul, but that's not for us to talk about here today. Oh no, we got a different thing to talk about if we get into tier 4, or if we even get into those at all. Listen, you guys start letting me know, right? You guys start adding me. You guys start letting me know if you need to get into these 2K tiers. And also, we have a couple of polls from last week. That's not what I wanted. We have a couple of polls coming up in that we have to review from last week. So we're going to get into those as well. We're going to have that and more coming up next on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. So let's start talking. Woo! We're back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Oh man, Volume 9, Episode 17, Track 5. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. Listen, we had some things that we had to take care of. I know you guys are probably wondering, yo, why weren't you here on Friday? Why weren't you around? Like, we was looking for you. We needed you. I'm sorry. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope pod to step to. But here we are today. It's Monday night, which means we get to start your week off right with the MyT Sports Podcast. Monday Night Football and the Knicks. Right, it's coming all of it is happening next, right? But I already told you how we start off every single show. We start off every single show with a birthday celebration. We give a little birthday shout out to everybody. Love you too, Eric. What's going on? There's some always. Yo, how y'all Bills doing? Did they? Last time I looked, they were down by 3. They hadn't scored yet. But now they've scored and they're still down by 3. We got to figure out what's going on in just a little bit, right? But let's go ahead and get into our birthday celebrations, right? Yo, DJ MyT, do me a favor. I think you should have this pulled up. I think you should have this ready. I hope we started everything right. You know what? I do apologize. I did not start all of my audios, and it's okay. It's good. It's all right because you know what? And more importantly, it started now, and it's here just in time for the birthday shout out. DJ MyT, I've stalled. I've given you enough time. Play my music, please. Listen, this is what you do right here, right? I told you guys that you needed to be here, you needed to be ready. Or whatever they say in Scarface, right? You're just gonna have your ass faster than a rap gets fucked, right? Whatever he says, right? But grab yourself a drink, roll yourself a joint, pack yourself a bowl, pour yourself a shot, whatever you do, right? Get that together. First of all, let's start with a nice little cheers before we start off anything. Not to mention, right, I get all cottony from those long-winded intros of mine. I just have to let you guys know. So, yo, I ain't gonna lie. There's a couple people I thought was gonna be here today. And whatever's going on right now, we're on opposite schedules, and I'm not appreciating. Oh, I see the cheers coming through. Right? Is that like, but it's okay. We gonna keep this show rolling. We're gonna talk about her a little bit later, right? So let's go ahead and start getting our birthday shout outs here, right? Let's get it. You ready, guys? Ready? Right? Because it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday because it's your because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, let's go ahead and start off these birthday shout outs. First birthday shout out we'll like to give out. We started all the way back on the 9th, right? I want to say happy birthday to one of my homegirls and also one of the participants in the MyT Women's Fantasy Football League. Want to say, excuse me. That's love. That's all love. Want to say happy birthday to my homegirl, Vanessa Gimelio. Well, listen, let's just happy birthday to her. Also on the 9th, want to say happy birthday to an old army buddy of mine. Want to say happy birthday to my homegirl, Tanta Kyerman. Then we're going to move forward, right? And we actually finally start moving closer to the weekends because that was Thursday. Now we get into the 10th. We start getting on to Fridays. I hope you guys was out this weekend, right? I hope you was out flexing on these hoes. That's how you stay right? I hope you was out there. I hope you was out there, right? Right. But for the 10th, I want to give a birthday shout out to my homeboy Eric Efron. Now I know him by a different name. We ain't about to put. Actually, that's not his government either, right? Some of you may know him as Eric. Some of you may know him as Gonzo. But I'm gonna tell you, it don't matter how you know him. If you're a wrestling promoter out there and you're looking for talent, I am talking about top tier talent to add to your roster, to make your show pop, to help galvanize a locker room, right? To help bring your promotion and your production to the next level. You holler at Eric Efron. You hire him today. There's nobody better in the business. I know I may have said that before about some other people. I'm telling you, when it comes to that, there's nobody better in the business. There's a lot of goats that I know. He is the one Billy Goat that I know. He is a cut above the rest. And you need to get him in your doors, get him in front of people, get him in that ring, and watch him do what he does, because what he will do for you will be wonders. Holla.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Now we move on to the 11th, Veterans Day. I hope you guys paid your respects to your veterans out there and gave them some ass, right? Or gave them some you know what I mean? So some grade A quality meat. Whichever one you have to give to your veteran, but I hope you guys were out there, right, servicing your veterans the way your veterans were servicing this country. Because while they were serving this country, they was being fucked by Uncle Sam. So I'm like, hey, you might as well, help them get fucked somewhere else, But we had Veterans Day on the 11th. Right, we have a little roller coaster for the 11th. Want to say happy birthday to Nadenia Hilario, right? That's happy birthday to Auntie out there. But also on the 11th, part of the reason why we didn't have the podcast on Friday is because on the 11th I was burying my uncle. So on the 11th I was busy with family, going to the airport, picking people up. You know what I mean? Doing the entertainment shit, making sure everybody was cool and kept my copacetic, while also making sure that everybody was maintained and in an uplifting manner, so everybody isn't breaking down before the event, because I figure during the event it's okay to boo-hoo, it's okay to break down, it's okay for you to go ahead and shed those tears. Those are those moments, but be outside of that, you just try to keep people together, even though they're going roller coaster behind closed doors, probably in the car, in the bathroom, while they're cooking, on their own little moments. But while we're all together, we could try to stay jolly and and keep each other uplifted. That's basically what we try to do. So on the 11th, I had to bury my Uncle Mark. Rest in peace to my Uncle Mark. I already said my words at the service. I'm not gonna have to, I'm not gonna repeat everything that I said for them, but my uncles all full influences into the man that I am today. Big, heavy uncle influences. It's probably why I take big pride in being a good uncle, because I had great uncles as examples. And I got to hear a lot about that from a lot of people on Saturday as well. I was surprised by the people that made it. I was surprised by the people that didn't make it. I appreciate my cousins that couldn't make it, sending their condolences, Michelle, Muffin, and Malik. I miss you guys. Love you guys. Right? So hope you reach back out to me so we can talk. Yeah, they didn't mean to go this deep. Can we pump this brakes? Can we go, because can we continue with the birthday celebrations, because
that's the danger zone.
Yeah, we starting to get there. Give me my birthday music back. There we go. I need that reminder that this is celebration time. But like I told you, I had something serious out there. I had to take this moment. I had to cut the beat. I had to cut the beat real quick. Just so I let you know, there's some seriousness coming up in here. But get that beat back in here. Shit. We don't need to be that dark. I am good, thank you. Right? But next we have birthdays for the 12th, right? So yes, that's 12th. That was yesterday. That's Sunday, right? So we got birthday for my homeboy Mark Burke. Want to say happy birthday to my homeboy Mark as well. And then I thought we had no birthdays today, but then I made sure. But then you start scrolling at the last minute. You see peoples of your peoples tagging peoples that they peep with, and I ended up realizing that today is one of my homeboys' girlfriend's birthday today. So also I want to say happy birthday to Christine Marinacci, Marinacci. I'm gonna go Marinacci. Right, but let's just say Christine. I want to say happy birthday to Christine out there. So let's bring them all back into a room, right? Let's get them all in here. Let's get them all in here. So to Vanessa and to Tanta and to Eric, that's Efron, and to Nadania and my Uncle Mark, rest in peace, Big Unc, and to Mark and to Christine, we want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you partied hard. We hope you enjoy everything. You regret nothing. But more importantly, especially since you had the weekend to do this, we hope you flexed on these hoes and continue to stay MyT. Cut the beat. Let's get into our first topic of the day.
First of all, first things first.
Let's just start with the pain. I apologize. Like maybe I'm still hurting a little bit. So let's start with the pain. Let's just start with the pain. The Jets and the Raiders. I again apologize for the second straight week to America for having to witness my in what's going on, Jess. I thought I was gonna see you. Exactly. Like we're on mismatching weeks. We gonna have to sync up or something. Like I said, we got to get this synced. I'll be back next week. Let me see. Next week's the 20th. I'll be back next week. See that? Better
okay,
see you.
So you don't want
Better see you.
like build together? You want to build separate or what?
Shout out to Jessica Rabbit out here. You guys make sure that you go in and follow her. Let's go on my Instagram. Just start my Instagram, right? Just look at my recent likes, right? Or go to the people I follow. Just look for Jessica Rabbit. You'll find it. Like it's the only one that's there. Follow it. Follow the show. Get on. Listen. I'll let you boy. So I'm gonna start with the pain today. Because it fully hurts to be a Jets fan right now. Because when the Oakland Raiders beat the Giants last week, I thought to myself, this is what's supposed to happen. Right? The Giants kind of suck, but even in a way, I still didn't expect them to beat the Giants. They had a new head coach. They had a new general manager. They had a new quarterback. They were doing a massive flip. This kind of flip normally doesn't lead to wins immediately. It may lead to some good gameplay, but not normally a bunch of wins. It may lead to some really great effort, guys, right? But normally not wins. Beating the Giants, I can get it. Giants only got 2 wins for the season, right? The Giants aren't fighting to win games; they're fighting for the number 1 spot. They're fighting for one of the top 3 quarterbacks in next year's draft. Like that's what they're going for. So I'm not fully upset about. Not fully upset about the Giants loss. Also, Giants ain't my team. Why should I be upset about it? But not shocked. Maybe that's it. Maybe shocked is the right word. Not shocked. But it came to the Jets now. This kind of threw me off. I kind of expected the Jets to beat them for the same reasons why I initially thought the Giants should beat them. They ultimately were a bad team. Are a bad team. New head coach, new general manager, new quarterback. Now, this change of head coach, though, end up having this Dan Campbell effect, where the person that they're playing for, the players are highly motivated to put their best foot forward and their best efforts on tape with this head coach. That's why you go ahead and join the Yo Rabbit and Nil podcast. I remember it was NIL, and I kept on thinking name, image, and likeness. Every time I see it, I think name, image, and likeness. And that's what NIL has done for the sports world. As a sports guy, I hear NIL, I just think name, image, and likeness, or next in line. Well, y'all check out the Jessica Rabbit and Neil podcast. Y'all check them out on Instagram as well too. Y'all go ahead and follow them as well. That's where the show's at. That's the podcast. Y'all give them a holler. Y'all give them a like. You go ahead and subscribe. You hit that little ding. That's why you can hear that bing bong every time that they go on. You make sure you do the same thing for the MyT Sports podcast as well. Yeah, each one reach one, teach one. You got to spread this love. So, yeah, I'm a little upset. I'm not just upset. I'm a little surprised because also the Jets lose and win in Jets fashion, right? Where there's almost no touchdown scored. Everything's a grinded out game. It comes down to field goals because the New York Jets, they lose this game, right? Where's the score at? My bad. Where is this Jets score at? They end up losing this game. It was by 3 points. Final score, is it 13-10? 13-16. My bad. Which, under normal circumstances, if your defense, 12-16, my bad. If your defense holds the opposing team to 16 points, you expect to win a game. But for the Jets, they can't score a touchdown. 4 trips to the red zone. 4+ trips to the red zone. 4 field goals. 12 points. There was a point where you thought the New York Jets scored a touchdown. Right? The game is getting late. Zach Wilson starts doing what Zach Wilson does. Late game, he actually looks like a serviceable quarterback. He starts getting in rhythm a little bit, making plays. Next you know, he's scrambling. Right? He's going to the end zone. He dives, hits the pylon. You're thinking touchdown. But what happens with the Jets? No touchdown. This is now 47 straight drives where the New York Jets haven't scored. This is the frustration. Now, as frustrating as it is, I put myself on the clock. It's understandable frustration, right? It's reasonable frustration. The New York Jets, they don't get the call. He's out on the 3-yard line. I don't remember seeing them challenging this to see if he was in, because I thought he was in. I thought he was at least worth a challenge. Now they let it slide. Next thing you know, it goes from 7 points. It goes from 6 points to 3 points that you get. Can't punch it in. This is the Jets' luck. Later on in the game, they'll get into the end zone again. And I don't understand why Breece Hall is not, one, touching this ball more and touching this ball in red zone, in the red zone more often. He touched the ball 13 times. There were times where they got into the red zone and they're passing it 3 straight times. Why?
so far, this is someone
Brees Hall got 13 touches, 28 yards. I understand that it doesn't look like it's working early on, but for a team that can't pass the ball, or for the team that has limited faith in their quarterback, I don't care how the run game looks early, you bludgeon a team to death.
Sure, because of the hearing and prep for that, and then doing response, and then the
Listen, Steelers. Listen, it's the Steelers. Steelers been doing this for a while now, for years now.
Oh yeah.
Listen, that's how they won that first one with Big
No,
Ben.
I think he expects.
But
I mean, Arsenal is going to be
you have to understand that
you know we don't do it necessarily.
if you have limited faith in your quarterback,
We'll figure out real quick. If it is,
you have to have an unwavering, overconfident faith somewhere else, and it can't just be your defense. It has to also be this run game, because there's a reason why you have Brees Hall, Cook. It isn't to run the ball early, and if it doesn't work, let's go ahead and get pass happy. No, that's not the reason why you got these guys. What the Raiders did to you is what you should be doing to teams.
did he answer that part of your email?
If you're going to look like some of these old Jets, how about you play like some of these old Jets? Because if this was Rex Ryan, you know what he's doing? He's running the ball 52 times. You know what the Raiders did to you guys? They ran the ball down your throat. 40 plus. Actually, let's pull it up before I just throw out a number. I was going to say 40 plus times. Sorry, 30 plus times. Ran the ball down your throat. 27 times with Josh Jacobs. If you remember a former Jacobs, who used to wear a Giants uniform, we'll talk about those sorry Giants in a minute. But if you remember him, one of the things, even beast mode, one of the things you want to do is wear a defense down. Wear them down. Keep running the ball. Don't go away from it. Keep going on, because a lot of these running backs, and Brees Hall is one of these running backs, they get stronger as the game goes on. You keep going forward. You keep pushing them forward. Your offensive lineman gets stronger, right? And your running back gets stronger. And you start wearing down that defensive line. And again, then later on, you know what starts to happen? Then you can start working on that play action. You can start working on that option. You can start working on that RPO a little bit. But you got to establish this run. There's no way that you have a guy that last year was in the running to become offensive rookie of the year, and this year you barely use him. But okay, he came back from an injury. Maybe that's the reason why you barely use him. But why did you sign Dalvin Cook? Why was it such high importance for you to sign Dalvin Cook then? Why was it so important to have this two-headed running monster if you're not going to utilize them? The two biggest question marks was offensive line and quarterback. It wasn't wide receiver. It wasn't running back. It wasn't defense. It wasn't special teams. It wasn't any of that. It was quarterback and offensive line. Now I get it's hard to run with a bad offensive line, but you also have to have more than 13 attempts. You have to have more than 15 attempts. I'm sorry, let me pull this back up because Dalvin Cook had, I think, 3 attempts. Sorry, 4 attempts. So they ran a total of 17 times. Zach Wilson also added 4.
I go, well, I'm here now, so let's talk.
You have to give them. They have to fear something. If they don't fear your quarterback, and you have this kind of, and you have these two dynamic backs in your backfield, you have to start making them fear something. Now, granted, while all this is frustrating, and very much so is, I'm still playing with house money. Don't you forget it, Jets fans. Jets fans, don't you forget this. You're still playing with house money here. We're talking about this with your backup quarterback. The guy playing right now was never supposed to be your starter this year. I know we quickly forget, right? Because we like to change the we like to change the goalpost every day to fit our anger fits. But none of this was supposed to be successful once Aaron Rodgers went down. The moment he went down, this whole thing became a shit show. So while there are frustrations here, it's, I don't want to say acceptable frustrations, but they're expected frustrations. Because if the biggest question mark coming in here was going to be your offensive line, which means that even Aaron Rodgers was slated to have some problems here. I remember again a lot of you aficionados even thought with Aaron Rodgers that the Jets may not make the playoffs. This is what a lot of you thought. At least not the first year. Right? I remember you guys saying this. I really should have worn my Crocs. Right? So if that was the expectation with Aaron Rodgers, then things have to be ridiculously lowered for the backup quarterback. The only thing you can expect now or hope for now is for growth. Is that he could learn from some of these scenarios that he's in early. Right? Like he's in the fire now, he gets to learn, he gets to sit back, watch again, a couple years, then he comes back and let's see how this progresses. Hopefully he actually has somebody that either a head coach or offensive coordinator that can actually help groom and grow him. Because I still don't think he has anybody that can really help teach him the game.
Yes, me too.
Zach Wilson, 23 for 39, 263 yards, 1 interception. No touchdowns. 4 carries, 54 yards. I said his biggest rush was when he got to the 3-yard line. Garrett Wilson would get 9 receptions, 14 targets, 93 yards. Also, for as much heat that Zach Wilson catches, at least he catches the heat that is thrown his way. Unlike a lot of the receivers that he has on his team. They brought Alan Lazard over here to be a complementary piece, to actually produce out there. Alan Lazard, 1 reception on 5 targets, 3 drop passes, and he averages 2 to 3 drop passes a game. You understand that during the Rex Ryan era, I think they drafted somebody in the 2nd round that was known to drop balls and they had stone hands. This guy is proven to be him. I can't remember his name. I'm telling you right now. So as much heat as Zach Wilson gets, all of it isn't him, right? Like I said, these problems you thought were only going to be overcome by Aaron Rodgers' greatness and experience. Some of these problems. You can't force Alan Lazard to catch passes. The only thing about Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson is that Aaron Rodgers would have been stopped passing to Alan Lazard. He would have been cut him off. Because if you can't prove to be a reliable target, Aaron Rodgers won't pass to you. You'll just be out there blocking and running routes. You don't fall out of the lineup because the coaches say so. You fall out of the lineup because Aaron Rodgers keeps overlooking you regardless of what you look like anymore. This is what Alan Lazard has become.
Congratulations, you're gonna
but Zach Wilson isn't experienced enough or probably isn't comfortable in that role enough to be like, yeah, I'm not passing to Alan Lazard. Because honestly, if I'm a wide receiver in there, even if I'm dropping passes like Alan, I'm like, yo, who the fuck is you not to pass me the ball? Yo, give me that shit. And he's going to have to call me out. And then when he does, maybe he gains some of the respect of the locker room. Maybe even mine a little bit. So you can't fault him for the drop passes. Dalvin Cook, misses all the passes sent to him. Michael Carter misses the passes. Mike Taylor goes 1 for 2, right? So that's 1, 2, that's 3 drop passes. Alan Lazard has another 4 of himself. That's 7. Xavier only catches 1 out of the 3 that's passed to him. That's another 9, right? And I'm not saying all 9 of those are drop passes, but the majority of those are. 5 out of those 9 are drop passes. Also, not to mention the penalties that the Jets keep suffering. Not just on defense, when you think that they're going to be able to get themselves off the field. This defense that is supposed to be puffing out their chest as one of the better defenses in the league. They're undisciplined at times. Offense as well. There's a lot of pre-snap penalties that they suffer. That's not Zach Wilson. These pre-stop snap penalties aren't coming from the quarterback.
Yep.
These aren't delay of games. These aren't fumble snaps. Snaps are fumbled. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
This is coming from false starts from linemen. It's lined up in the neutral zone by wide receivers. So while Zach may not be the best, and this is not really the take up for. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm not here to take up for him. Right? This is not me saying that he's a great quarterback. I'm just saying that the blame does not stop with him. The blame is beyond is includes him and is beyond him. Because also what I'm getting out of this is that there's a lack of discipline, right? And if there's a lack of discipline, that means now there's also a coaching problem. Because if you're not coaching it, then you're allowing it to happen. So Zach Wilson does deserve some blame. He should not be the well, again, he's the quarterback. So I guess he is the person that's going to die on the cross, right? I guess he's going to be the figurehead. But that's for the media and everybody that talks sports and only nibble at the low-hanging fruit. Get off those aren't fruit, those are nuts. Get off of them. Climb that tree a little bit. There's some good fruit up top, and when you start getting into the good fruit of this, you start telling you you start listening to what those funky juices are telling you, and when those juices start to flow, they're telling you it's offensive line, it's coaching, it's discipline, it's quarterback as well. But we've mentioned at least 2 things that are coaching: lack of the use of the running back, and discipline when it comes to penalties. Those 2 things are coaching. Also, you know what's coaching? Zach Wilson still not being given a watered-down playbook that he can prosper in. These things matter. This offense still has too many pieces tailored for Aaron Rodgers. And because they still keep trying to do Aaron Rodgers things every once in a while, they keep falling flat on their face. This guy is still a crawler. Every once in a while, you keep trying to put him on a treadmill just because he can stand. And then you wonder why he falls on his face and goes flying out the back. Let's move on. Because the Jets weren't the only giant disappointment, right, that we saw over the weekend.
It sounded like a really sudden emergency.
We also caught a horrific game, and I hope you guys didn't have to see this, right, as well too, right? But we had the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Jets, and
I'm so sorry you were sick.
This was just as bad. Like I can't lie to you. I can't front. This game was just as bad, and
I think if you go,
it's worse. It's just as bad in a different way because New York Jets and the Raiders, they couldn't score a touchdown, right? We just talk about field goals, field goals, field goals, defense, bad offense. For Dallas and New York Giants, I feel like they played early in the season, and we saw the same exact thing happen. Was it the New York Giants? Was it the Dallas Cowboys that played the New York Giants early in the season and completely gave them a donut? Was that them? No, that was the Miami Dolphins. Was it the Dolphins? Who gave them the donut? I'm gonna pull up the Giants schedule. Let's see if I can remember. We can figure out who gave them that donut at the beginning of the season. Because for some reason now, yep. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Question the answer. Okay, so I am right. This game started off very much like their previous matchup. Through the first half, the New York Giants hadn't put up any points. This is like the beginning of the season all over again. This is the first 6 quarters of the season all over again. But remember who gave them that skunk? Who gave them that big fat donut? Who gave them that O? That was the Dallas Cowboys. When they blew them out 40-0. They managed to get 28 points up at the half before the New York Giants figured that, you know what, we'll decide to join this football game. I'm sorry we're late. Traffic. This game ends 49-17. 49-17. They were even outscored in the second half, basically 21-17. At no point did they lead. At no point did it look like they were going to lead. At no point did it look like they were going to win this game. This was a complete blowout from beginning to end. Now, granted, kind of like the Jets, kind of. The New York Giants don't have their starting quarterback anymore. Right? As it currently stands, they are playing Danny DeVito. Tommy Danny DeVito. Right? They're playing Tommy DeVito, who is their third string quarterback. Remember, it's supposed to be Damn Daniel, then Tyrod Bad Luck Taylor, and then Tommy Danny DeVito. That's the pecking order. Daniel Jones went out, ACL. Tyrod Taylor punctured another lung rib. And now we're down to Danny DeVito calling cases for the New York Giants. Is that Danny DeVito? No, I think it was him.
Yeah, but usually like we do things to you and then we transfer to me. But I know I haven't
14 for 27, 86 yards. But I can't laugh. The Giants outscored the Jets, and their third string quarterback put up more touchdowns than Zach Wilson. Honestly, in one game, he has put up more touchdowns than Zach Wilson has all year. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Zach Wilson's only thrown for 1 touchdown all year. And they're like, no, this can't be. It is. I told you we could start with the pain. So the Giants end up getting waxed. And while it is their third string quarterback, it looked very eerily similar to the first matchup they had with the Cowboys, which very quickly informed us that the New York Giants were not in the league of any of the contenders in the NFC, especially in the NFC East.
And I'm having a feeling that's why they're saying I owe them money right now.
So they get waxed again. And if there was any doubt, any thought that maybe it's possible that they kind of could have maybe make the playoffs, nah, it's completely over. It's a wrap, B. Send them home. And I think I started asking this question last week. I texted my Giants fans and I was trying to find out
I think
how did they feel about Daniel Jones
one time
being
that
injured.
I sent you
Because in a weird way, I wonder if this is the best thing possible for them. Daniel Jones injured, Tyrod Taylor injured. Now when you lose all these games, it's not Daniel Jones's fault. So now you don't have the New York Giants fan base screaming every single week to fire Daniel Jones because you just paid this bum $40 million and look what he's doing. No, you get a pass on this year. You get the stake this year, not have any of them, and you know what? And come out the back end and say, hey, you know what, guys? Forget about it. We got one of these nice quarterbacks up there at the top of the draft. Let's go ahead and get one of these guys in our facilities. And let's see if he works for us. Maybe he could be the next bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's not that much, but I know, but it makes sense now. That I
And if he
realize,
is, then you forget about damn Daniel.
like it actually kicked into my memory because I had a flash of your
But the Giants have been a giant disappointment. That's the only thing, the only way to describe them. They've been a giant disappointment. They did not come into this year to be this bad. And this was when they had Daniel Jones. They're not coming to the year to be this bad. They thought they may possibly take a step back, right? Maybe 7 games, maybe 8 games.
Oh my God, that's enough.
They understood they weren't going to win 9 and 10 again this year because there was going to be an up in competition. But to look this bad was not expected. It's still not looking bad, right? We got a couple of games on over here. We got the Knicks versus the Boston Celtics over here. We'll tell you the score in a second. And then we also got the Denver Broncos taking on Buffalo. Last time we checked, Buffalo was surprisingly losing 9-6. I'll tell you what that score is in a minute. And also the New York Knicks were losing to Boston Celtics as well. Let's see if these trends are remaining. I don't got a score for Boston. Actually, we're on a commercial break for both of them. The Washington Wizards lose again. Can I tell you?
Okay, so you need to tell if do you want. Okay.
Basically, the Washington Wizards and the Golden State Warriors have opposite records. One is 2-7, others like 7-2. I guess you can say that Golden State Warriors are definitely winning this thing for right now. But also, you're starting to see the attitude of Jordan Poole. A couple of times you've heard him mention and reference, well, fuck this, I got my own team. You even heard him in a recent interview talking about, this is kind of cool over here, you know what I mean? It's a fresh start, I kind of have my own team, the offense runs through me. Like, he may be, at times it looks like he's just out there having fun. He's going to realize it's not that much fun when you start losing as bad as they've been losing. Right now, he's still caught in the limelight of just having his own team. You went to the media and start talking bad about him. They haven't started talking bad about him. And they will talk bad about you in D.C. Because they need you as a distraction from the politics.
And I will have my assistant send you a post retainer. And if it meets your.
We have a couple of sad stories, right? I told you, right? We're going to start with the pain today. I will apologize. I told you we was going to start with the pain today. Somebody that's probably in a lot of pain. Let's start with a little injury report. The MyT injury report.
Him down. Then you have to refresh and bother them and you feel like you're represented. Like, I'm supposed to be advocating for you, and I do like the separation of making her the money guy because then I'm sorry, I'm not the money guy.
Injury comes for everybody, just like Jason hunting down one of his targets, right?
If you have any questions,
unfortunately, we didn't see this one coming when this one hit us early in the morning. Yo, Woj needs to calm down. Woj really needs to calm down. I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like for the last 3-4 weeks or so, Woj just keeps dropping news on us at 2:00 in the morning. Like we don't sleep, like we don't got somewhere to be, like we don't got things to do in the morning. You can't just be dropping Woj bombs at 2:00 in the morning because unless you're one of those people that sleeps with their phone on I don't give a fuck about the world, right? Mode. Then at 2:00 in the morning, right? Your phone will start going off. That's the Woj bomb is gonna hit, and ESPN is gonna hit. It's gonna hit on Facebook. It's gonna hit on Instagram. It's gonna hit on X. Let's go hit on a TikTok. Start getting all of these things. Google starts alerting you. Like Woz drops a bomb. There's at least 15 notifications following it. So it is highly irresponsible of Woz to drop bombs at 2 o'clock in the morning. Because when he drops bombs, we hear it even over Baghdad. And what we found out at 2 o'clock in the morning was that Kelly Oubre, Philadelphia 76ers player Kelly Oubre, is hospitalized because he was hit by a car in front of his place. Now, mind you, he's already been released from the hospital, right? He's walking his own court. He's going to be seeing the team doctors, and they're going to continue to treat him. And I'm going to tell you something. Something don't smell right. Something doesn't smell right at all. And I'm going to tell you why. The fact that he just got hit randomly out front of, right? Because how often do you hear of an athlete being hit by a car? Not very often. But how often do you hear of men being hit by a car when women are involved? I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now. Kelly Oubre was assaulted. Now this is wild speculation. But Kelly Oubre was assaulted by some chick he was messing with. Who else hit you in front of your place? Who else? Why else? This isn't some Bob Dole hunting accident. I'm telling you right now, this has scorned lover written all over it. When I say all over it, I mean all over it. We hope nothing fatal. And when I say fatal, right, career ending has happened to Kelly Oubre. Right, we hope that he hasn't dislocated a knee for the permanent. Because I'm telling you, there's only one kind of wicked individual that would do something like that to an athlete. Because you know what? Because you know they're trying to take away their livelihood because they're hurt. Because they told them, no, you can't stay here no more. We're not together.
I'm going to use whatever piece of law.
And now, what are they doing? You try to take that away, that livelihood, because they're heartbroken. Grow up. Speaking of growing up, right? I think I'm going to take this time perfectly to tell you about something that can just help you stay up during some of your more crucial times. What am I talking about, you ask? I'm glad you asked. I'm talking about. Wait, do I have a copy here? Where's the free samples at? Let's see here. Nope, not in that one. Not in that one. Oh, don't got no free samples with us today. Hold on, where's the prize bag at? Like, that's the real question. The prize bag is missing. We got to put out an APB for the prize bag. But let's get back to talking about what can get you guys up. What are we talking about? We're talking about Blue Chew, of course. What is Blue Chew? Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. Let's open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, yes, you know what that sound is, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. For free. The only thing you gotta pay for is shipping and handling. Take care of your postal workers. I don't gotta explain that. Rain, sleet, hail, or snow. just to make sure that you do all of the things that you said you were gonna do in the DMs. I think that's a fair trade-off. Listen, you don't have to worry about ever being let down again. Whether you need it on a regular basis or you want it just because you was talking too much smack, or just because she hit you with that line, you can't handle all this, and you want to make sure that it is not just handled, that it is simmer sauteed and left looking like Tua Tagovailoa after a hard hit, right? Too soon? My bad. Then you blue chew it. Because when it comes to blue chew, there's only two things that you need to know about. One, you chew it. Two, something you're gonna do anyway. You do it. That's it. Doesn't matter how you do it. Whether you like to do it missionary, where I'm gonna tell you stop being boring. Whether you like to do it doggy style, whether you like to do it 69 style, whether you like to do it jackhammer style, you like to do it froggy style or Amazon style.
No, but she's doing well. I mean,
Blue chew is for you. For whichever do that you like to do when you're doing the do. Blue chew. Chew it and do it. That's a wrap? Okay, let's continue. So, speaking of still going hard, right? Pause.
Yeah. That's funny. I
don't know if you guys caught this, a recent comment, interview, statement by your guys, by your king, your chosen one, his greatness yourself, one LeBron James, where LeBron James comes out and states, well, let me not say this, my bad. LeBron James responds to a statement. Let's get this straight. He didn't just come out and be like, yeah. Right? He responded to a statement. And in that statement said that it was crediting the Miami Heat for this level of greatness that we have seen from LeBron James. I'll tell you in a minute.
No,
right?
It means your client is wrong.
And
your client can't handle it.
In this, no, I can understand. I guess if you're LeBron James, it's a slight. I don't think the statement was there to take a slight at LeBron James. It just said that we wouldn't be witnessing this level of greatness.
Shit, yeah.
And LeBron James comes out and he states, even if he didn't go to the Miami Heat, he'll still be great. And he's right. LeBron James isn't wrong. He still would be great. If he doesn't go to Miami Heat,
then she doesn't have the passion for it either.
LeBron James probably has 1, 2 rings maybe, which is exactly the amount of rings he has without the Miami Heat.
And she's good at it. Yeah.
Like, he'll still be great. He'll still be this era. Actually, no, he wouldn't even be this era's GOAT because he wouldn't have passed Stephen Curry. But he'll still be amongst the greats because he'll still be the scoring leader. He'll still be top 5 in assists. He'll still be tops in turnovers.
People are more desperate with immigration. I mean,
right? He'll still have all of these accolades. Don't know if he's making it 4 straight years to the NBA finals. Don't know if he definitely don't. He's not making there 8 straight years. So he still is great. But a lot of the things that make up his greatness wouldn't be there anymore. Those 4 straight final appearances in Miami, that's not there on the resume anymore. So that means that he doesn't get the opportunity to say, "Oh, I've been to 8 straight finals." That's no longer on the table. He doesn't have those 2 rings of Miami. So now he's not close enough to Kobe and Michael Jordan for you guys to put him in the same room as those guys anymore. Because without 4, he doesn't get into the same room as them.
Wait, so she represented the husband?
He's down there with Isaiah Thomas in them. Scottie Pippen. He's in that room. You know, he gets in the room right around where Shaq is, actually below Shaq. So LeBron James saying that he would still be great without it. One, obviously, that's his ego kicking. He has to come to his defense, and he is right to an extent. We would still regard him as one of the greatest players of this generation.
Yeah.
That would still be a fact. He would still be regarded as a generational talent. That would still be a fact. He can still call himself the chosen one. To him, that would still be a fact. He can still say witness greatness, because if he's breaking the all-time scoring leader, scoring leader, right? Become an all-time scoring leader, and breaking into the top 5 in assists, we all witnessing greatness.
Of course she did. Wait, so Joyce called you,
but
also?
What he does, and like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the things that he would be lacking would be so detrimental that it would automatically remove him out of the greatest of all time debate.
So she thought Joyce was fucking.
He'll be great for this generation. He'll be great in this era, which is what a lot of people regard him now. But he would never, and I mean never, ever would be spoken about in the same breaths as Mike and Kobe, or Magic, or even Shaq. Like those, actually, Shaq and Magic would probably be his grouping, because the accolades, the personal accolades, would be so great that you would wonder, does he compare with Magic? And Magic would tell you, nah, he got 4 championships. Exactly how quickly Magic shut down Steph. It's just how quickly he would shut down LeBron.
You come back and I feel like you really did understand me.
So you understand that without his stint in Miami, we're talking about from being considered top 3, you know what I mean, possibly number 1, to now being amongst 15 to 20 all time, which 10 to 20 of all time. He's no longer in the top 10. It's now through 11 and 10, 11 and 20. He wouldn't qualify to be amongst the GOATs. So I find it, like I said, I find it kind of weird that LeBron James took that route to have to defend that statement. But this is LeBron James, right? This is kind of how he is. This is his personality. This is who we've come to become accustomed to over the years. A guy that's a little sensitive, a guy that will clap back on social media, even to the things that you think like, why would you respond to that? Especially with what he said. Because in a very weird way, I mean, while it keeps us talking about it, because I don't know if this becomes a story unless LeBron James responds to it, to be honest with you. But it just keeps us talking about it for a couple of days. And all it does is continue to poke the many holes in LeBron James's great career, just to come out the other end to say that he doesn't measure up to Kobe and Mike. That's all this does. Is just trying to find another way on how he doesn't compare to those two guys, how he isn't ahead of those two guys, and how he wouldn't be ahead of those two guys. And it does even more damage by bringing awareness to everybody, because without it, it drops you further out of that conversation. I don't believe LeBron James is top 10 without that stint in Miami. Because without that stint in Miami, I can't guarantee LeBron James gets 2 rings. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. They say that over 10 years, he manages to squeeze 2 out of there. Because if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't even be in Isaiah Thomas's category. He'll be somewhere down there along with Kawhi Leonard. This is kind of me going off of the 2K GOAT tier, in a way, as I'm picturing the levels that he's at. Now, LeBron James caused a lot of this shrapnel for himself, right? By responding to this comment that was made. Again, didn't need to. Could have let it go. But had to. Right? The urge was just too great for him. Now, he wasn't the only, and it caused him to catch a lot of shrapnel. Now, he wasn't the only one to catch a lot of shrapnel over the weekend. Over the weekend, the LA Clippers, who have now lost every single game that they have played since James Harden has returned, was playing the Dallas Mavericks. And the Dallas Mavericks announcer had some very key choice words for James Harden. And not just some choice words. We're talking about he wanted to make sure that James Harden heard what he had to say. Because he asked the announce team to pump what he is about to say into the locker room so that James Harden could hear it. Listen to this.
Into the Clippers locker room. If I can talk to you, James, I hope you're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because, listen, I get on my knees every night and pray for someone to believe in me, like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You want to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him, and you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him, and you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You want to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my Wimby. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big 3. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there and you got a partner. That's the producer to pipe this into the Clippers. Who got the MVP? He won the MVP. And what did you say afterwards? You said, they didn't hand me the reins. You're the point guard. You're holding the reins. And what did you do when you had the reins? You scored 9 points in Game 7 against Boston. You blew a 3-2 series lead. So they fired their coach. Not good enough. You broke up with your guy, believed in you again. You said, the bright lights of LA, that's where I want to go. Let's see if that works. Listen, James, have you ever had those friends who had bad roommates? Over and over, they complained about their bad roommates. Who got the MVP? He won the MVP. And what did you say about their bad roommates? This guy's terrible. The bad roommate here. They never thought to be self-aware that they're the bad roommate. They're the problem. Hey, James, you're the problem. If this doesn't work this year, in this system, with this team, then you're going to go and point fingers at everybody else, and you're going to go back home and you're going to start swiping right for another team. There's not going to be anybody left. Because, James, you're not the beard, you're not the system, you're the problem.
Oh, and the mic dropped.
You're not the beard. You're not the system.
Listen, Marjorie, how the fuck did I get something?
You're the problem. Now, granted, for years now, we've thought James Harden playing style has been fugazi. even when he was in MVP, even when he was supposed to be running for MVPs,
I can't lie.
we thought his playing style was fugazi. They changed a lot of NBA rules because they thought his playing style was fugazi.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
Now he's at the tail end of his career. Whatever athleticism he had left is gone. The fugazi rules that used to be calling his benefit are now frowned upon in the league.
Yeah.
And now everywhere that he is being deemed just as toxic as Kyrie Irving.
Listen, why do you think?
Now Kyrie has been good this year. Let's leave Kyrie. Let's leave Kyrie alone so far alone this year. He's been good. If I'm not mistaken, the Mavs have a decent record. They've been playing well.
It's the hardest sports certification, right?
And now you hear a whole nother commentator. This is Dallas's commentator talking about the Clippers. Talking about a Clippers point guard. And nothing he said was a lie. James Harden did move from Houston over to Brooklyn. Did go from Brooklyn over to Philly. Now it goes from Philly over to LA. Oh, they didn't like what was going on in Brooklyn. Oh, can never play for Daryl Morey again. Oh, now he's in LA.
Okay, so my question is,
we've spoke about this already in a weird way, and you're seeing it because I guarantee you, this commentator isn't just expressing his feelings only. I guarantee you, he's expressing feelings of the fan base that he has heard. But I'm pretty sure he's also spoken with other coaches. I'm pretty sure he's spoken with other owners, right? His owner, his general manager, and kind of heard they started to get a feeling on how they feel. A lot of these announcers, believe it or not, are also league insiders. They get a lot of inside information. They have their own shows in other networks on the radio. They have podcasts in other places. They get information. I'm telling you, what he said, I'll bet you that 100% of this isn't coming from him. But there's a big portion of this that's coming from the outside entities that he has encountered. And how they also feel about James Harden. Because what have we said when James Harden started talking about his announcements wanting to go to LA? He better quit it. He's gonna be on his last leg. It's only gonna be for so long he can keep requesting trades.
Of course. And
especially when now he's a diminishing asset.
I know that, yes.
He's no longer the 50, 14, and 12 guy anymore, the 15, 14, and 8 guy, or the 45, 8, and 8 guy. He's no longer that. You're lucky to get 21 and 12 from him on a consistent basis. You're lucky to get double digits in two categories from him on a regular basis. No longer can take that last shot, even though he was horrible at it anyway to begin with. He was never clutch.
In what way?
No longer has a first step, and no longer can draw calls.
Because I know the statue like.
Tyrese Maxey is basically outplaying him on a regular basis every single night. Tyrese Maxey just dropped 50. I was just thinking to myself, because I was watching the Knicks play the Hornets the other day. Actually, I don't even rephrase that. I was watching the Knicks Sun the Hornets the other day.
Yeah, but we recognized
I think it was yesterday, Sunday matinee.
The same as our statute, like
and
a common law marriage in another state.
Damn it, what was I about to say? Harden.
What?
They would talk. LaMelo Ball, I think, had like 32 points. I think somewhere around the fourth quarter.
Wait.
And they talked about him coming up on his career high of 38. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, LaMelo's career high is only 38 points. For as much hype as he had coming in here, I thought he would have been a much bigger scoring phenom. And then as that happens,
okay, so
what do we get from Tyrese Maxey? A 50 burger. I've told you guys about the Hornets. We'll talk to them. We'll talk about them a little bit later. So here goes Harden. Here goes James Harden again, catching shrapnel from, like I said, a regular reporter. But this isn't just this reporter shrapnel.
No.
This is a strong feel. This is a strong expression of how a lot of GMs feel around the league, a lot of coaches feel around the league, a lot of presidents of operations feel around the league, is that he was given the reins. He had his team. He was given the reins. He was sent everywhere he wanted to be at. He was surrounded by the people that he thought could be successful. And every single time he turned around like, yeah, this ain't it. I need to go to somewhere else, and found some excuse of why he needed to bounce. Even if he was an asset with a positive return, this act would have gotten old by now already. Because you're talking about 4 teams in 3 years. Coaches don't want the headache because they're wondering about you. GMs don't know if they can invest in you long term. And you become a pure liability. And now we're seeing a Clippers team that was actually looking pretty decent before you got there. And in 2 weeks, you have completely taken them out of the playoff contention early. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be real interesting to see this James Harden saga in LA, because this time around, you're not going to blame Russell Westbrook. He's not going to be the scapegoat this time around. This time around, the scapegoat becomes full. It becomes this blame is going to fall fully on James Harden, and there's no way for him to escape it. Because everybody is tired of his shit. Let's give you guys a little quick update. Buffalo and Denver, they're tied up now. They weren't tied up when we looked earlier, and I gave you that look. If I'm not mistaken, it was 9-15. Now it's 15-all. Buffalo has that ball, and they're currently driving down. We'll keep you guys updated. They got it over to Davis. Oh, I gotta check my fantasy. I gotta make sure I don't lose this at the last minute. Actually, I was surprised I won this. I was in a winning position this week. Yeah, there's been a lot of weeks. There's been a lot of weeks this year where I thought, yeah, I'm gonna lose this one, and then I turned it on halfway through those 4:00 games, and I'm like, oh, like I'm up. Like
yes, they did.
I am
Bumble
up.
Risky.
I'm big up. Buffalo this fumble?
Yeah.
Ah, pendejo. Oh, it was a bad handoff between Josh Allen and his. See, this is what happens when you don't use your running back often enough. You have no clue how to hand the ball off to him. You should have just done a short pass to Gabe Davis again and hope and hoped and hope for positive yards. That sucks. That's right. Rob Williams underwent knee surgery. He's going to be out for the majority of the year, if not the whole entire year. And I did not get to see the end of that Knicks and Boston score. Let's see. Boston ended up winning 98-114. These are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. Now, speaking of break it up, there's actually a couple of plays that had to be broken up recently in their most recent matchup, and that was one Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors when they took on the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards. And Draymond Green tried doing Draymond tactics again. He ended up committing a hard foul on Anthony Edwards, right? And then started getting chirpy, right? And said, the beginning portion of it isn't that bad. Yo, no easy baskets, no easy layups, right? Which makes sense. But then started going on and kept on chirping, and then started asking Anthony Edwards, right, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Now, mind you, Anthony Edwards already had one technical. So as we know that this is a ploy by Draymond Green to try to bait him, right? Welcome to the Warriors Invitational, where Draymond Green acts like an asshole, right? Like, this is what he does.
I can't wear.
And granted, mind you, he did not. he did not fall for the bait,
I'm gonna root for you. But
right?
I won't wear your shit.
And
As long as we're not
he just
playing,
he knocked down his free
but I
throws,
get it. You guys are like,
and he was sitting there, my man, ain't nobody worrying about you, ain't nobody
Which is
studying you, ain't nobody worried about you, and then went on to bust their ass. We're talking about we're talking about a nice good ass whooping, right? End up coming back in that game and end up winning 116-110, outscored the Warriors 37-27 in the fourth quarter to win this game. Anthony Edwards would finish with 33.6 rebounds and 7 assists. And this is the... Can I see your lighter? Thank you. Is this my lighter? Is this yours? Oh, this is mine. Okay.
Oh no, that's what I gave you earlier. That's why I couldn't find that one.
You didn't give me a lighter earlier.
Yeah, I did over there.
Holy
Did you?
shit,
Yeah.
That's so.
Did I leave my lighter over there? Oh shit!
Wait,
Cause I did walk. I did walk into my car. I grabbed.
I have another-
Okay, this is my
that's
lighter.
yours, that's
Yeah,
yours.
cause I walked to my car, grabbed. Okay, I think I grabbed the lighter. I forgot I smoked when I smoked over there.
I like that.
I'm looking at me.
Yeah. Isn't that like gonna hurt? Yeah,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
gonna
gonna
fucking suck.
be. Yeah.
It sucks today.
Well, the
So-
outline's the worst.
No, for me, see,
So Anthony Edwards just went on to bust that ass. Now, because this is the second time
it's just that
we've
I-
seen karma hit Draymond Green, right? Because Draymond Green caught instant karma because, like I said, Anthony Edwards went to go bust that ass, dunked all over them. They had no choice. But also, I don't know if you guys caught a game a couple weeks ago where Draymond Green went up for a rebound and accidentally got kicked in the ding ding. Right? It took a meat when it was down for a while. And my first thought was just, it took forever for this karma to catch up with Draymond Green. But this one, they didn't take that long. This one was here immediately. And Anthony Edwards keeps showing us
No, not Christmas Eve. That's Good Friday.
that he
Whatever.
is definitely
Yeah, I was gonna get
probably going to be one of these next in line once LeBron James, once Stephen Curry, and once, I guess you could say Kevin. I don't really count Kevin Durant, in, you know what I mean, as, but I guess he got two. But he got two with, we won't go too deep. But LeBron James, Steph, and KD, once those guys fade out, I can fully see Anthony Edwards taking over this league. But what needs to happen, like these early years need to be his scoring years, like a lot of those guys did, right? These early years need to be his scoring years. Shows that you could put up buckets, win a scoring title even. Right? All of these guys learn, hey, you win a scoring title in this league doesn't mean you're going to guarantee to win your championship, but you do it just to get it on your resume. Everybody does it at least one time out of their career. The only person that really did it multiple times in his career was Michael Jordan. Everybody else was okay doing it once. Look them up. Your Kobe's, your LeBrons, your Dwayne Wade, your Carmelo Anthony's, Allen Iversons. Even though one time, because they realized all those points still didn't get me no damn ring. So I can see Anthony Edwards fully becoming that next tiered superstar that we all make sure that we watch on a regular basis. But he has to get out of Minnesota. As I said, like he can make these early years his scoring years, but eventually he's gonna have to get out of Minnesota and find himself in a bigger organization. I'm so glad you guys cannot see my camera, because sometimes I open up my X and it just looks like I'm watching porn. But let's go ahead and pull this up and let's see if we can find our polls from last week. Okay, so on our polls from last week, I asked you guys, is fentanyl cheaper than baby laxatives? That came back with an astonishing 100% yes. So this makes me understand just a little bit more on why you guys would switch over to fentanyl and stop using baby laxatives. It makes no sense to me, because why would you want to kill your customers? Why would you want to put something in there that you think is going to, I mean, that, it's already a rough drug. Now you putting something in there even more. I mean, no, everybody was okay with having the runs, so having a little bit of, having the toots a little bit. Nobody wants seizures. But apparently, from this poll I ran last week, look, we got a day of voting left. We got a day and 23 hours left. Okay, so we still got, so this poll is available until Wednesday. You guys get your voting on, right? I'm just visiting this now for today. But so far, we got 100% yes on the fentanyl cheaper than baby laxatives. And then I asked you guys as well, right? The actual sports question. Whose career would you rather have? Russell Westbrook. Damn. And there's cellulite in that motherfucker. I'm telling you, boy. There's never been an appreciation for cellulite ever than it is right now. See, the thing that chicks have... For real. You know what's so funny? The thing that the chicks are embarrassed about. Oh my God, I got... Like, everybody got cellulite. What the fuck are you worried about? But for all the...
Who said cellulite makes you think you was either big and got small?
That's the stretch box. You either bigger got small or you smaller got big. Either way, we fucking. I'm gonna love you. But no, yo, like the thing that they all trying to get rid of, right, which is cellulite. It's so funny. It's the thing that now guys is looking at like, yo, if you don't got cellulite, I can't even fuck with you. Like, I'm looking for cellulite. Like I need to know that this is all real. I need to know that you just don't throw money down the trash. Like, I need to know that you're not the kind of woman to flush wipes down the toilet. Like, I need to know this. I need to know that you can cook. And I need to know that you ain't gonna Uber my whole paycheck away.
Then I think. So you think I should try to do it that way?
Like, these things are important. But ask the guys a real question: whose career would you rather have, Russell Westbrook's or Kyrie Irving? And 2/3 of you, so 67% of you, said Kyrie Irving over Russell Westbrook. And I can guarantee you, every single last one of you's justification that said Kyrie Irving is justifying it because he has a ring.
And try to attach to whatever. Now, in that procedure,
I guarantee you that's the reason. When Kyrie Irving has never led a team by himself to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't see no Russell.
but that's what I'm talking about.
Russell's shoes out either.
What's got shoes?
Has he?
What's got shoes? Nobody. But that was Kyrie. But you know what though? Kyrie was popular and had his shoe even before he had his ring. So I can maybe understand that. Maybe he was a popular player, but post up a triple-double for 3 straight years? I'm talking about I got triple-doubles like 50, 20, and 10 on my book. I have led a team. Not only have me as the man, right, led a team to the Western Conference Championship and only lost to LeBron James and the great Dwayne Wade, right? But I have taken a team to the playoffs. Me, myself, on multiple years. Kyrie Irving, when he had a team by himself, has never made the playoffs. The only time he's made the playoffs is teamed up with LeBron James or teamed up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And now he'll probably make the playoffs again while he's side saddling Luka. But while he was the man and had a team, he has never, ever, one time in his life made the playoffs. He had the moniker of Mr. Fourth Quarter because he could put up a bunch of points in the fourth quarter, but he was on one of those up and rising teams that was trying to get to trying to make the 8th seed. Never ever made it yet. I'm a little baffled of the pick of Kyrie over Russ, but I could get it probably because of popularity, sneaker deal, effect on economy and culture, right? And then the championship. But I guarantee you, more than anything else, that the number one reason why you guys are picking Kyrie's career over Russell Westbrook's is because of that chip. And I tell you this, or I ask you this, You take that chip away. You take that chip away. The one ring that he managed to squeeze out with LeBron James, you take that chip away, because he managed to get one who y'all consider this generation's greatest player of all time, or greatest player of today. That's what we're gonna give the new GOAT. Yeah, he's the greatest player of today. Outside of that, Kyrie Irving is only known for being toxic. Now, you've never, ever heard about Russell Westbrook being toxic in his locker room. Now, you guys in the media and you fans toxify his career and his numbers and his highlight. But you've never heard one guy talk bad about him in the locker room. You've never heard there be any issues with him and availability. With him not showing up, with him not giving effort. That was all media generated and fan generated. But I do find that interesting, and I do find that funny, right? A little ironic that a lot that you guys leaned towards the way of Kyrie Irving in this. But I ain't gonna lie, kind of saw it coming because I knew it was going to be a ring thing here. We got a couple days for you guys to vote. It doesn't look like, I doubt, unless everybody comes in and starts voting Russ, right? I doubt it's gonna change the voting, right? Let's go ahead and repost that. Yeah. Right. So you guys got a couple days to vote. You got till Wednesday. But I can see it's not gonna change. I already know it's not gonna change. Let me ask somebody that's filled up. Whose career would you rather have? Kyrie Irving's or Russell Westbrook's?
I don't even know who either one of them are. I'm going to stick with my life.
You know, that's a hell of an answer. That's what's up. Oh man, hey, that's the truth. So yeah, you guys got a couple days to respond. Let me know, right? I doubt it's gonna form in Russell's favor, but I kind of saw this coming. This is one of those polls that when I ran it, I wasn't surprised of how you guys responded to it. It's a hell of a poll, and I knew what your reaction was going to be. Now, let's get into some other stuff, right? Let's see. LeBron James still the GOAT. Kelly Oubre, we got them out the way. We got the Jets, and we got James Harden. We got the Giants out of the way, and we even revisited the poll. We may only do a 2-hour show today. Listen, I don't mind. I really don't mind at all because I would love to be able to get up the road, right, and get home early. Now, we got a couple of NFL results to go after, to go over. Just to let you guys know. Now, as you guys know, so we are now just wrapping up week 10. We have the Bills currently right now taking on the Denver Broncos. Game is still tied, 15-all. There's still a lot of time left in the fourth quarter, 11 whole minutes. There's still a lot of time for things to change. We'll see if we last here through the rest of the podcast. But what we'll definitely do, we're gonna go over this week's picks. Right now, I know I wasn't on air Friday to give you these picks, so you're just gonna have to trust me when I say that these are the people that I picked before I picked them on right now, picking them when I'm picking them with you. You just gotta trust me. Because also I wouldn't lie to you because there's some games you just know that I can't lie about. Right? Like for instance, hold on. Let's go ahead and pull up week 10. Where's week 10 at? There was something I read that said like for instance, there's no way. Under chapter I would have picked the Las Vegas Raiders to beat the New York Jets. I'm just wrong there. I am literally just wrong there. I wouldn't have picked Baltimore to lose that close game against Cleveland, but a late fumble by Lamar Odom, and next thing you know, this game is going the other way. Chicago, I would have taken over Carolina. Both of those teams suck. I've taken Indy over the Colts. That they end up beating the Patriots 10-6. I said the Ravens end up losing to Cleveland 33-30 to 31. As Cleveland, listen, they played, they fought hard, and again, this is just one of those division rivalry games. Again, not surprised at the outcome. Surprised that Houston end up falling and end up beating the Bengals 30-27. We end up getting that one wrong as well. 49ers waxed the Jaguars. Kind of saw that coming. The San Francisco 49ers just kind of find ways to win, and they have been impressive with their quarterback and the Shanahan system. Right? Vikings over the Saints 27-19. Steelers end up putting out a close one over the Packers 23-19. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Tennessee Titans 20-6. The Arizona Cardinals surprisingly beat the Atlanta Falcons 25-23. The Detroit Lions waxed the Chargers, closely waxed the Chargers 41-38. The Dallas Cowboys will embarrass the New York Giants by giving them a giant blowout by beating them 49-17. The New York Giants didn't even score in the first half of that game. The Seattle Seahawks will squeeze out a victory over the Commanders 29-6. And as I mentioned earlier, in the ugly game of Sunday night, the Las Vegas Raiders will beat the Jets 16-12. We had known updates on the bye this week was the Dolphins, the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. That's why you didn't hear from about any of those teams. A lot of good teams on the bye week. A lot of teams. I'm gonna tell you this more than anything else. A lot of teams on the bye week that affected a lot of people's fantasy. Like you understand, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. I guarantee you, there's at least 6 players, right? If not, you're also considering the defense and a kicker, right? Let's call it at least 8 players, right? Or 8 entities, right? That were on a bye week if you were playing fantasy. Between those 3 teams, there was at least 8 entities on a bye week. Affected a lot of people. A lot of people had to get real creative and try to figure out what they were going to do. This game is still tied 15-50 with just about 7 minutes left to go. Now, let's get into a little Knicks talk, right? We'll come back. We'll talk some football possibly. As I mentioned earlier, the New York Knicks, they sunned the Charlotte Hornets. And the Charlotte Hornets should have gotten beaten over the weekend. They beat them 129-107, completely waxed them 22-point lead. I've mentioned this for years now, right? Because I feel like I've been trying to bring this to light since last year. But the Charlotte Hornets need an adult in the room, and that's how they got sunned by the New York Knicks. You understand? Everybody was scoring in that game. You had Julius Randle going off for 23. R.J. Barrett dropped 24. Jalen Brunson dropped another 20. There goes your big 3 right there with another combined score of over 66 points. Emmanuel quickly dropped 17 off the bench. What you want him to do? He's going to continue to be in the ranking, be in the running for 6th man of the year. I won't be surprised if he wins 6th man of the year. You saw Mitchell Robinson with 10 points and 9 rebounds. And I wanted to, in this game, one of the things you notice immediately is New York Knicks physicality. That was one of the first things that you noticed. Mitchell Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, did he have 5 offensive rebounds in this game, if I'm not mistaken? Out of his 9 rebounds, I think 5 of them were offensive. You understand, Mitchell Robinson alone has more offensive rebounds than 3 teams altogether. As an individual, he has more offensive rebound than some NBA teams has as a whole. Because he has found a way to make himself useful and impactful, not just for this team and in the NBA. And that's from getting rebounds, playing defense, getting blocks, and making sure he grabs rebounds, especially offensive rebounds. Because you're seeing in these games that, right, that when it comes time to get a rebound, that you can't be stagnant around him. Because even if you have the rebound, he's still poking, he's still jumping, he's still trying to hustle to that ball. He has that hustle badge. If you guys are 2K fans, right? He fully has that hustle badge. So you have the rebounds from him. You have Josh Hart coming off the bench. Getting rebounds. RJ Barrett has. RJ Barrett
You'll be all right.
has even more so than last year. You started seeing him become a more.
What are you breaking back there? Man, you're gonna unplug all your shit. Your makeup mirror is gonna go down too.
Well, this isn't my shit, but still, I don't want it. I don't need anything happening.
I'm joking with you.
That makes it even worse. That is not my shit.
No, we're good. No.
Okay, that should stop.
Oh, your makeup mirror.
Okay. Woof. I don't need none of this shit coming down. Right. So to get back into the Knicks, right? So we do a little Knicks talk. Right
But
now.
I gotta tell you that I actually really respect your friend for having.
You see RJ Barrett, right? Even in his role, it's a little bit more. We have a touchdown. Denver Broncos scores now 21-15. 3 yard. Was that 3 yard or 30 yard? It was a 3 yard receiving touchdown.
I knew this because I fucking did the research.
I just hope it was Jerry Jeudy. I don't think that was. Because that's what I need for fantasy points.
Oh, really?
I need Jerry Jeudy to come out here and do some things.
Graduate or pass the bar?
Is that Judy? Is that big booty Judy?
I feel like you said she was a new returner.
Huh, I can't tell.
Oh, never mind.
All right, so back to you see RJ Barrett even early, right?
Well, she probably
Becoming more physical, right? Being more physical in his role, right? Driving to the lane more, getting more contact, and also being rewarded for that contact. Right now that he's in his 5th season, and the referees are starting to realize, okay, he is starting to draw some contact to the lane. We got to start rewarding this guy with free throw calls. Again, as I remind you, Knicks fans, in our players' current role, RJ, Julius, and Brunson are all slated to average about 17 shot attempts per game. What they do with those 17 shot attempts is up to them. Now, also, how they get those 17 shot attempts is a little bit different. We know that Jalen Brunson is the point guard. He's going to have the ball in his hand the majority of the time. We see how he scores. Off the pick and roll, taking his man off the dribble, a lot of starting, stopping, understanding how to manipulate the contact that he receives, going to the line. Julius Randle also allowed to bring the ball up and also pound the hell out of the ball or dribble the air out of the ball, right? Be a bull in a china shop. Dribble, spin move, pump fake shot, right? This is what we call him. He kind of still is that, but on a little more efficient level, and also a 3-point shooter. But we see him to be being able to take, like I said, an overabundant amount of dribbles. RJ Barrett doesn't get that same usage, right? He doesn't hold the ball as long as these guys do. He doesn't bring the ball up court like they do. He normally catches it off the wing, right? Takes a dribble in and goes and finishes at the rim. Catches it at the 3-point line. Gets a pick and roll, goes straight to the basket and takes it in. You know what I mean? After he sees Jalen Brunson taking his man off the dribble to the lane, he cuts as well and gets an easy basket. A lot of his baskets is made from cutting or driving to the basket, as well as spot up 3-point shooting. What he isn't doing is dribbling 14 times. But that's part of Brunson's game, the 14 dribbles, and it's part of Julius Brunson's game. And RJ Barrett, that's not his game, and we don't compliment him sometimes enough for being able to do what they do in half the dribbles.
Okay, so then why is she not in general?
in a third of the dribbles.
Now his kids at DCF.
But nonetheless, New York Knicks end up coming away with a nice little victory over the Charlotte Hornets. Over the Charlotte Hornets the other day. Now they lost to Boston tonight, right? But they beat Charlotte yesterday, right? 129 to 107. They beat the Spurs on Wednesday when we last had our podcast, right? 126 to 105. That was Victor Wabemayu's right debut to the Garden when he said that, hey, I wasn't that impressed, and the next thing you know, we beat the brakes off of them. Very similar to how we beat the brakes off the Hornet. 126, 105, 129, 107. Same breaks, similar breaks, different beating. Right, whoop the Clippers 111, 97. Remember that was last Monday, and now here we are today. On this Monday, we start off with a loss to the Celtics to start off this week. Now we have our in-season tournament games coming up this week, right? And that's gonna be this Friday where we play the Washington Wizards, right? A struggling Washington Wizards. They've only won about, if I'm not mistaken, they've only won about 2 or 3 games this season. They're like 2-7 or 3-7. As we mentioned earlier, I think Jordan Poole is feeling himself a little too much and not really taking winning or anything else for granted. He's basically said like, yo, I got a ring. I got paid. I'm able to take care of my family. And now I'm able to start in a new situation. I kind of got my own team. Those are his words. I got a ring. I got paid. So I'm able to take care of my family. And now I got put in a new situation where I kind of have my own team. But in that, he's ignoring the coach in practice, not in practice, in the huddle, right? When he does, like, and then when somebody tries to grab his attention, right, he's over like screaming, like, "Oh, fuck that! Oh, this is my team. Don't worry about it." Like, right? And then when he does tune in, it's too late to catch up the players, and then you see him leave, and he's over here like, let me see if I can take a little peek and see what play we about to run.
We are. After she gets her new ones.
So I'm really hoping that the Knicks end up beating him, that they don't allow him to kind of go off, because let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I saw that this game is in the Garden. So you know what happens when players come to the Garden? They like to show up and show out a little bit. No, this game is actually in Washington, so we could probably catch him slipping and trying to lackadaisically show off. This week, also on Wednesday, the New York Knicks take on the Atlanta Hawks as well. That's going to be Wednesday at 7:30. Hopefully, after taking this loss to the Celtics, we can finish off the rest of this week with nothing but wins. As like I said, we got the Hawks coming up. That's on Wednesday. On Friday, we have the Wizards, and on Saturday, we have the Hornets again. So we can. Right now, we have a record of 5-4. We can really win our next 3 games and improve to 8-4 by the end of this week. Now, the Miami Heat, right? As they have a current record of wait. Hold on, one second. No, yeah, that's right. Miami Heat have a current record of 6-4, right? They last played on yesterday against the Spurs. Yeah, they played yesterday against the Spurs as well. They also welcomed them to a loss. So we saw some early wins from Victor, but now you're starting to see things start to calm down. The Spurs have actually been more on a losing streak. Even though we're starting to see some impressive ball from him, we're starting to some ball play from Victor. We're starting to see some highlight plays. We see the greatness that they're talking about. What's going to end up happening is that we're going to have to see that greatness on a more consistent basis. They're going to have to lead to winning. They have another young guy on that team that looks like a little blonde guy, a little Rubio, right? That he looks like he's going to be a decent player. So if they have another struggling season, maybe they get another high draft pick. They're able to add something onto this early duo that look like they have, and maybe they can get themselves a young trio for Pop to go ahead and get some life pumped back into him in the next 10 years or so.
No, Maria.
But the Spurs are taking L's, and they're taking L's fast. In the game against the Heat, Victor ended up having 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. Again, not bad. Like, not bad at all. But Again, this just not enough to overcome the Miami Heat. Butler dropped 19, Bam dropped 24. You seen Duncan Robinson dropped another 26, right? Josh and Drew Smith with 12, go along with Kevin Love, and then you got another 11 from Zach Weiss. Now, one of the things that you do see with Victor, right? We saw it with Mitchell Robinson in the Knicks. You saw it with Bam as well when they played him. They are and it's still and even before Bam, I think when they also played Golden State, we saw it from was it Golden State or the Clippers, but we saw was it Eric Gordon able to do it as well. And I make sure I bring up Eric Gordon is that basically you're still able to see guys out physical Victor right now. Early on in his career, and this is probably gonna happen probably for like the next 3 years or so, right? He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to fully go on that Giannis workout plan, right? Because he's gonna get bodied for a while, and you're seeing it. Guys like Mitchell Robinson, who's just more physical, who's excuse me, who's been in the NBA for a couple of years, who's able to benefit from the NBA, you know what I mean, physical therapy program or strength and fitness program, I should say, right? Shoulders are filled out, arm a little bit more filled out, back a little bit more filled out. You understand? Just more. Even though he's thin as well, he's more physically imposing and has more physical man strength right now built up than Victor's. Victor still got. He may be tall and got some power to him, but he don't got no man strength. He's still got that boy strength on it. So Victor, in the early stage of his career, he's gonna get pushed around a little bit, right? Right, like he's gonna get pushed around a little bit, and that's probably gonna be some of the biggest portions of his early downfall. Is that while he's tall, and he may not be big enough or strong enough to deal with some of these, let's just say 3, 4, 5 year veterans in this league already, right? Like I'm talking about that as early as that. That some of those guys has been in the league for like at least just 3 years. They may be a little too physical for him, even though he's much taller than him. We saw a guy like Eric Gordon, right? Where Eric Gordon is only like 6 feet. But understanding the NBA, understanding basketball, and understand positioning, able to throw him completely off of his block. That's going to be a real thing for him. As granted, everybody he's going to be playing is smaller than him, but that's going to be the key for him, not just to the centers and power forwards playing him, but also when he happens to get that mismatch against shooting guards and small forwards, they're going to know early, like, yo, listen, get underneath him a little bit, push him off his block, don't just easy fundamentals. Don't let him get position on you early, right? Get that when he comes down, meet him a little bit higher, right? Up on the block, right? Meet him early on, and that way he has to fight you from the top of the key all the way down to his post position. And if you have your core strength on your legs planted, then and he may not be able to budge you. He don't have that yet. Like I said, he's tall, but he's not stronger yet. He's big, but he's not more powerful yet. And the way that he's struggling for position at times, you see the struggle in their record. You see the struggles in their record. And like I said, now while they're struggling against Golden State and the Knicks and everybody else, the Golden State are having a few of their little woes here and there. The other day, we caught a real. I don't want to say buzzer beater, but we caught a real disturbing loss, right? A real heartbreaking loss for the Warriors the other night when they lost to the Denver Nuggets, as Stephen Curry missed a wide open layup, right? And ain't no one of his signature scoop layups. He misses a wide open scoop layup to tie the game and send it to overtime. He basically airballs it. Denver recovers, goes the other way, gets a foul, makes another basket, bam, game's over. But like I said, they turned around, and then they turned around, right? Lost to the Cavs, and then turned around after that, and they lost to the Timberwolves. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you that the Golden State Warriors on a 3-game losing streak. Like I said, they started off pretty hot at the beginning of the season.
I think you
Right.
think he has a chance too, right?
With a record of 6-2, but then you've seen them take these 3 losses because remember there was talks earlier about who was the early winner, and it's still going to probably end up proven to be the Golden State Warriors as the winner of the Jordan Poole and Chris Paul trade. But it's gonna look better early because Chris Paul is still revitalized. He's still fresh. The season hasn't worn on him yet. The assist to turnover ratio, right, has been completely lopsided when you compare Jordan Poole to what Chris Paul has done. We're talking about Chris Paul is literally out there at a 18-1 ratio when it comes to assist to turnovers, where Jordan Poole is basically at a 1-for-1 right now. So that is going to continue to be lopsided. But again, you're not here to get Chris. You're not here to benefit from Chris Paul in the regular season. You're here to benefit from Chris Paul in the playoffs. So we'll continue to see, even though we are aware that Golden State has won this trade, let's see how fruitful it's going to be for them. Because at this point, it's not about who's won the trade and who lost the trade. It's how fruitful is this going to be for the Golden State Warriors? How beneficial can this be for them? Can they squeeze another championship out of the Warriors by getting Chris Paul his first? Or is this going to lead to every other scenario that Chris Paul has ever been involved in? And that is, once again, failing not just his team, but also his city when it matters the most. And I think we're gonna cut ourselves here. I think I am good for today. Let's before we wrap up. I know I mentioned this already, but I think I just need to remind everybody again because I don't think I can emphasize this enough. If I am the New York Knicks, you have to make a trade for either Donovan Mitchell or Joel Embiid before all of the assets that Philly just got back in the James Harden trade becomes tradable. Because once they become tradable, you no longer have enough leverage to get the guys that you may want. And for the people that really don't want Donovan Mitchell, I know I said I was over. Fuck it, let's keep going. For all the people that really that don't want Donovan Mitchell, I'm curious why not. Because if I'm not mistaken, right? And let's pull up NBA scoring leaders. If I'm not mistaken, Donovan Mitchell's the leading scorer this year. And if he's not, then he's okay. He's no longer the leading scorer anymore. He's now fallen to 6th. So he's averaging 29.5 points per game. At one point in time, this is super early in the season, I think he was averaging 32 and he was leading the league in scoring. But why wouldn't you want a top 10 scorer in this league? A guy that scores better than Giannis, Tyrese Maxey, who's been balling, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's just below who scores just below Luca and Kevin Durant. He's at 29 and a half. The only people ahead of him is Luca, Joel Embiid, Steph, Kevin, and Nikola Jokic. 5 individuals. He'll be 6. Why wouldn't you want a top 6 scorer in this league? I don't understand Knicks fans sometimes, right? It's like the thing that you want, you just want it in some weird, perfect package that ends up being flawless, as if somebody doesn't have some kind of hole or issue about their game that you're not going to like. Unless you're getting Anthony Edwards. That could be probably the only person, right? Or one of those kids from Boston. But Donovan Mitchell, not only is he already a top 6 scorer in this league, right? Putting up about 30 points a game. For everybody that cares or wonders about, oh, he's too small and you're going to be a small backfield. Well, you already have a small backfield. Right now, your starting shooting guard is Quentin Grimes. And unless we happen to get somebody to either bring in that's a 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guy, move him over to shoot it, small forward, and move the 6'7" RJ Barrett down to we got some action going on here. There's about 29 seconds left to go. Buffalo's up 22-21. We got a flag on the play. Well, unless you get somebody in there 6'7" and above, and you move RJ Barrett down to the shooting guard position, or you get yourself a shooting guard that's 6'6", 6'7", you're not looking at that much of a change. So, but if you're talking about switching up Quentin Grimes, that is, right? For Donovan Mitchell, you're really only talking about switching out somebody that's, what is he, 6'4"? Where's Donovan Mitchell's height? He's 6'3" for somebody that's 6'5". Like I said, believe it or not, you're already small. But you know what you really are switching out? You're switching out a person that averages 9 points a game. 7 points a game. For somebody that puts up 30 points a game. For the people that under that, he may not be a Tom Thibodeau guy. Tom Thibodeau will switch out defense, or he'll exchange defense for iconic scoring. So if you're a dynamic scorer, Tom Thibodeau will be okay with your defense. But even with defense, what makes you think if defense is not required from Donovan Mitchell and he doesn't play defense? Donovan Mitchell is not a pushover. Donovan Mitchell got some dog in him. You see him. He gets in the face of defenders. He'll throw players on the ground. Like he's ready to fight players. He don't back down. He got a level of dog in him that would relate to a New York crowd. So the fact that but see, this is New York. And it seems like there's half of the fan base that is okay not having Donovan Mitchell. You want to stick with Grimes? And then when you're wondering, hey, where are we going to get those extra points from? Where can we get some extra scoring from? Where can we get a guy that can get his own bucket? And you're looking around because they've locked in on Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, and you have nowhere else to go with the ball, and you don't trust RJ Barrett enough. What do you think Donovan Mitchell is? They're locked in on Donovan Mitchell. You know what happens? Julius Randle looks like an all-star again. But the New York Knicks has to be judicious about this, right? And they have to be smart because they cannot wait. I keep saying this again. They can't wait until those assets that Philly has becomes tradable. Because if they wait until it becomes tradable, then Philly can put together the better package to get Donovan Mitchell added to their team. And then you're talking about Joel Embiid, who's already top 3 in scoring this in the league, teamed up with Donovan Mitchell, who's top 6. And if they get to keep Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Maxey is 10th is the 11th highest scorer in this league. That's a young problem. Only thing about Philly is that they don't kind of have that coach that preaches defense first to be able to drag the defense out of them. You want a guy like Donovan Mitchell on your team. What happened? What happened here? They got a flag. 4 seconds left.
I got a nasty email from Cats on your email you sent.
Okay. They said this.
Stipulation for substitution.
They did this. And they did this.
No.
So
Oh my God.
I'm a little teapot.
Explain to you. Can I just finish this email?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Short and stout. Here is my handle.
Just let me finish this email and then I'll tell you what's going on. But I'm gonna blame this.
Did they count too many men on
I don't
field?
even know what he said.
Was it too many men on field on
Cats.
Buffalo after Denver looked like they missed the field goal that would have ended the game? So now they get another chance at it. 36-yard attempt. It goes up. It's good. And I can hear my friends that are Buffalo fans already cursing. Denver gets this victory, 24-22. Buffalo falls to 5-5, which means that the division is still attainable. Hold on. So the Dolphins are 6-3. The Bills are now 5-5. The Jets are 4-5. This was not expected. Did not expect Buffalo to have such a down year this year. And it's only one game off too, but it seems like they're having such a down year from previous years. Because also they maintain this pace. You're talking about them barely being above 500, and they're not making it going to the playoffs on a record of 9-8. That's not happening. But folks, big win for the Denver Broncos. Big win for Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson has been scrutinized, right? Along with Sean Payton, they've been scrutinized a lot this year. And in the last couple of weeks, they've come away with a couple of impressive victories. And Russell Wilson is no longer looking like
Mr. Limited.
but he's starting to look like his former alter ego of
Mr. Unlimited.
I mean, still kind of limited, right? But that's an impressive victory. That's an impressive victory against one of those top tier teams, and Denver improving, right? Kind of getting back to the record, right, of what we thought they were going to look like coming into the season. Denver turning out to be a late season problem. Buffalo dropping games that they shouldn't. Jets still kind of lingering around. And the Dolphins trying to swim to the first place spot. This AFC East is intense. And I don't think I need anything else. I don't have anything else to say about them. And I think we're going to move on from our Knicks because, like I said, I've mentioned this before. So it's only to say it again. But the Knicks will end up. Just know that I'm telling you that the Knicks will make a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake if they don't pull that trigger before those pieces become available. Because then you got to piece together 3 of the top 11 scorers in this league in Philly, and that's going to be a problem. We see Milwaukee can't play defense, right? Boston, you realize that they can be got.
We got next week. We got next year.
You can outpace the Knicks, right? You can outpace Cleveland and everybody else. Indiana is a slow rising team. You can outpace them, and then also that helps you keep pace right along pace with Phoenix. And if you happen to play them in the finals, I feel like you should feel comfortable being able to say that you have enough pieces to go toe to toe with those kind of dynamic scorers. That's reason if you're the Knicks, this is important. Let's see before we get off the air, right? As we're getting ready to wrap the show up, if I can look and see where any Knicks players are at in scoring. So here's Jalen Brunson. He's average. He's the highest scorer it looks like for the Knicks. Let's make sure this is right again. I think that's right. Okay, so he's the highest scorer for the Knicks. He's right now in 27th place. This is actually going to surprise me. What? I am actually real surprised at what I'm seeing. That I almost don't believe what I'm seeing. But it looks like Jalen Brunson, right? He's in 27th place in scoring in the league, averaging 22.6 points per game, while RJ Barrett is 28th, also averaging 22.6 points per game. And I'm surprised that Julius Randle isn't up here. But Julius Randle did start off the season struggling. Because to be a top 50 scorer in the league, you just need to average 18.6 points per game. And that very last person is Franz Wagner. And then Paulo Benchora is 48. And they have been a playoff contender so far. So they all living up to their NBA ranking. I heard somebody mention, I forgot who it was. It could have been Gilbert, saying that if you're going to be you're going to have two players in the top 50 in the league right now, then you guys should be a playoff team. And they have proven that so far. Because you know what? When he said it, it made a whole lot of sense to me, and I was going to hold him to that standard. But you see the scoring by Jalen. You see the scoring by RJ. We know that Julius Randle will pick his average up. If you don't have to give up RJ in this package, right? But you have to forfeit a Jalen Brunson and let's say Emmanuel Quickly, right? Because it may actually have to hurt, and Emmanuel Quickly will hurt. Because you don't want to go smaller. You don't want to get what you don't probably want to do is get Mitchell Robin is get Donovan Mitchell and lose Grimes and lose RJ. And then next thing you know, it's Quickly that you have to replace him or Hart. Because that's a lot of scoring you're gonna lose. Yeah, not really. Because you can still keep Quickly. But if you can find a way to keep to have to forfeit Grimes, have to possibly forfeit Quickly, which wouldn't be that bad. What are we talking about doing this deal with? Cleveland. You wouldn't mind going to Cleveland and getting a chance to ball there some more. You add in Fournier because you have to make the money work. 3 years of first-round picks, couple of second rounds, 2 swaps in the first. That's 5 years of first-round picks plus 2 seconds. That's 7 picks and 3 players. But whatever it is, it has to be significant enough that they can't say to themselves, okay, let's sit around and wait to see what Philly's offer may be. Because if they do that, then Philly's gonna blow you out. Then you're gonna end up having to lose a guy like RJ. And then I'm not sure how I really feel about this trade. I know RJ isn't Donovan Mitchell, but losing RJ is where I start to worry about the size the size disparity. But if you're just talking about losing Quentin Grimes, yeah, I'm cool. For 2 inches, I'll take the other 21 points per game that he's added. Pause. And with that, I think I'm officially done. I think you guys have gotten enough out of me and even enough bonus time. I don't think I need to give you guys any more. I think we can wrap this up and we'll be good here. We'll be back though. You know this. We'll be back Wednesday night promptly 8:07 ish. We'll be back Friday, same thing 8:07 ish. Next Monday we'll have a life update for you guys. We'll let you know how one of our next endeavors are going. We'll have an update on this in-season tournament, and I'm very glad that Stephen Curry was like, "Yeah, you guys are wilding. Like this thing is actually really simple to figure out." So we'll talk about that as well. Joel Embiid catching heat because he's over here taking 3-point shots in a game that seems like it's over, and he just said, "Oh, people are just mad at me because they don't know the rules." What are the rules? All points matter in the in-season tournament, which means that you don't stop playing. You never know. You never know. With that said, I think I know I'm about to leave for today. So you can play my outro so that I can like skedaddle.
Sorry,
baby.
B. I tried. Honest. All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers. Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got good mic skills. New, improved MyT podcaster. Potting down now. Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't want to go far. Wild night. Tired, B. Tired. MyT
Sports. We done here?